Welcome. Happy holidays. Bonjour. And anything else you want to get on with. Um, Today we're going to be chit-chatting about our usual shit. We're going to talk about some Christmas themes and content coming to games. Uh, Somewhat, maybe. We're going to be chit-chatting about some of our favorite old movies, and I'm going to try to slip as much Christmas content in there as I can to annoy the shit out of the guys. So, without further, I love Raven's reaction, and just so where it's a brand new thing, welcome Raven's actual Raven
Face.
face. I mean, it's
Again.
actually Raven finally. We've
Yeah.
been breaking his you know, candy canes and all that for a little bit, just to try. And he's finally
They have been trying to come on. You have to
yep,
use your
that's
false
right.
camera at least on Stone.
That's right, and they're finally in, and great to see you, buddy. Not the first
Yeah,
time
thanks,
I've seen
thanks.
him, but first time I think that a lot of people have here live on stream. So
Pretty much, pretty much.
let's I guess get things kicked off. Just before we started up the
What?
stream, we were talking a little bit of Star Wars. I
Yeah.
mean, I believe we geeked out a little bit. Well, I geeked out a little bit, and
Yeah, you geeked out. No, not even a little bit. You geeked out a lot. As Clown asked quite a curious question about Ashoka, and I was trying to answer him. And well, these two
yeah,
time nuts.
you
These
tried to be
two time
Qui
nuts.
Gon, and I just went full like full, you know. But Master,
You went full Anakin Skywalker when he was young.
did I just?
And Smoke was Ashoka, his Anakin's apprentice. So two damn nuts trying
Hmm.
to. But yeah, I was trying to explain Cloud, and I think I did quite well. But I'll let Clown to decide if that went well as I hope.
Well, I think so. I mean, and just in case anybody's curious about, the new Ahsoka show, I think it was great. It's not that new now, but this all the series that led up to it, um, it had everything that you kind of wanted from that series. All the Star Wars Rebels callbacks, all the
Yeah, and it actually goes quite well after the Star Wars Rebel,
oh
so it's actually good after what's it actual after that series.
yeah.
Though I do not know the timeline how it actually goes.
I believe it takes place. Oh God, it lines up with the end of the Mandalorian series. Or not the end of the series, but the end of season three. Um, because Thrawn coming back is supposed to be the what starts the big bad for the Mandalorian movie. So I hear.
This is nice. Actually, I'm still in the middle of season three because I have not been buying Disney Plus at that moment for a
But
while. So as
yeah,
it's quite expensive, but
it
yeah.
is. It is. It
And
is.
I did watch Ahsoka's episode one, and I was at episode one. I was already sold
I mean,
pretty much.
it's a great
I think
series. Great
Yeah,
series.
and I actually think the actor they chose to Ashoka did actually quite justice for the
Yeah,
character
me
as
too.
well.
And same thing
Even
with,
though much, even though many of those who thought it was would be better have the voice actress of Ashoka do the Asuka, but
you know,
still,
um, I, I, I thought that as well until I saw her perform Ahsoka in The Mandalorian, and then I
mm,
was kind of like, oh, well, that's Ahsoka. Wow,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
Ahsoka brought to life.
exactly, exactly,
I'm sold. I'm in. I'm in like Flynn on the grid.
exactly, exactly. Sometimes actors, and actresses just
Yep, they make
they
perfect
just
casting
click,
choices.
they
That
just click.
like just in the Mandalorian, Bill Burr as the disgruntled Imperial sharpshooter. You know, when he watched the commander.
Oh,
He
we
was the
have a
only
new visitor here as well.
like.
Iras.
Wait, what did I miss?
Uh, Sefis. I don't know how to call Ras, but
Uh,
well, Sefis
as an Atlantic
companion, so to
Canadian,
say.
I'm as an Atlantic Canadian, I'm taking Kiefer. I'm Kiefer Sutherland. Fuck it.
But yeah, I think but yeah, I must admit at first
Hi,
when
Raz.
I but yeah, as I was saying, when the Mandalorian first came, I would deny I was quite skeptic at first about the series, but more I watched the series, more I was sold.
Yeah, Ravens on camera. That's right, Renzi. Ravens on camera, and the other two are lacking.
I did. I did not get camera. I'm using my phone at the moment, but I actually did before the podcast. I actually ordered my camera.
Beautiful.
So I
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. What's that shot? Oh, hey, smoke. Oh,
Where's my sunglasses?
I'm blinded.
Possible keys. Hello,
Okay,
Oh,
and hello, chat.
but yeah, Seth, you did not want to step over my which is word of choice, so I did not. So I used a companion. But yeah, wife.
well, I guess definitely wife, but I mean, companion
Hmm?
to me, that's just more of like, a Doctor Who reference. The Doctor and his
Mm,
companions. It's just what pops in my head because I'm such a Who nerd.
yeah,
I
it's
have literally watched every fucking episode of that show.
actually absolutely. I say this first before I go to comment about Doctor Who. But yeah, in my language, companion is company. So, and we call our better half, wife, and so on. We call them as a companion and so on. So that's why I use that word because
And
it's more of a neutral
yeah,
in my head.
yeah,
So
uh,
this is the difference when using English and Finnish. That
very
is
it
the
is though.
I actually need to think about how the words go together, so it doesn't sound too much stupid in my head. But yeah, now Doctor Who. Actually, I actually love the new Doctor, even though I was quite skeptic first
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
doing a great job. He's doing a
He
grand
he
job, I have
actually
to
brings
say.
the he actually has the Doctor Who vibe, so to say,
Yeah,
and he's quirky as Doctor.
yeah, he
Even
is.
though the Lady Doctor was good, but it
So
was still in some it
Lady
was still in
Doctor,
some way
I liked
lacking.
her. I liked Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, but she
Yeah,
kind
but
of
it was
really
still
reminded me a lot of elements of the Fifth Doctor from the original series, and Colin, which would be fuck Peter. No, oh my God, I got his. I can picture his face and everything. I mean, technically, he is David Tennant's father-in-law because David Tennant married the Fifth Doctor's daughter, and who technically played David Tennant's daughter as the Doctor, as clone in the episode The Doctor's Daughter. So it's quite convoluted. But anyway, like I was saying, um, what was I saying?
we were talking about Doctor.
Oh, right, right, right. So, yeah, but anyway, um, Whitaker's performance reminds me of Fifth Doctor, and he went into, was it him? Uh, and he went in, yeah, seventh, whichever one Colin Baker was, the Ginger Doctor, kind of reminds me of a combination of the both of those. Oh, we definitely want Renzi to bully him as soon as he comes back on cam and mic. We're dying for it. We cannot wait, and we are looking quite forward to it.
Takes it away from me, doesn't it?
But yeah,
Oh yeah, it works out great for
but, uh,
you.
but yeah, actually, I must say, Tennant, David Tennant was actually that introduced me to Doctor Who.
So
So
what
it was Doctor before ninth Doctor who introduced, but it was the 10th Doctor that got me to whole series.
what got me into Doctor Who was my cousin Dennis used to put it on Saturdays before what was that other show, Red Dwarf, and I think he started out watching Tom Baker's era, the one with Baker's era, because it was the one with the scarf, and it had two episodes were usually on, and it was usually but we got uh, I watched it so many times on YTV because YTV used to rebroadcast a lot of British stuff. Like there used to even be this show called Maid Marian. Fucking that made it like so. Maid Marian was the actual Robin Hood, and Robin Hood was a bumbling idiot that followed along. And there was this dude. I think Little John had a tadpole stuck up his nose for like the first season. But that,
But yeah, as for me, it was the Wednesday evenings when Doctor Who came. It was like about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock evening when Doctor Who's were airing on Finnish TV on
and
TV2 or
I didn't even
so.
realize that they had New Who, as they call it now, until I was home on a Christmas day, and on CBC came on Tennant's uh, Regeneration Christmas special. Because the CBC here in Canada was actually partner with is still partner with the BBC, and they helped fund New Who. Like, yeah. So yeah, apparently
Yeah.
we do it all the time with BBC shows so that we can get rights to air BBC shows here in Canada on
Mm.
the CBC. That's one of the reasons why YTV had to started doing like original programming is because they ended up finding it hard to compete with the CBC when it came to getting overseas programming. Like, I mean, Count Duckula was a show that I watched on YTV. Fucking, I mean,
Yeah, it's actually sometimes I find funny because some series that you guys talk about is something that never was shown in Finland at all.
oh,
It's like
dude.
it's like I have a gap
Cinem-
in knowledge as well.
well, I tell you now, take
So
Seffi's advice, and he suggests Red Dwarf and Blackadder. I do as well. Red Dwarf from season one, episode one.
I
And
think we had Red Dwarf here. I
oh god,
think
so good. I still watch it, man. I every now and
actually
again.
I need to.
It's cold outside, there's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with fucking Digimon, Seth. Digimon was good as well.
Yeah, but if you got if buy him a
Okay, yeah, we
Digimon
did
game
not
with a
have.
clown instead of a Pokemon, just take over his PlayStation. There you go. But not when we want to play zombies. You relinquish it when we want to do a zombies run, and we're fine.
Nah, see that's what I need to say that you can't take the man's PlayStation. You can do anything else, but you can't touch the man's PlayStation.
What are you, the
That's
biker out? What are you, the biker bartender outside of fucking Terminator 2? I'm sorry, son. I can't let you take the man's wheels.
But yeah, actually, I just checked, and yeah, we did not actually have Red Wolf in
Oh,
Finland either.
bro, I'd recommend it. I recommend it. Like the first couple of seasons are great, but then when they get Crichton on board, that's when it really starts to get really good. Um, but yeah, no, and Blackadder, well, that's just Rowan Atkinson before Mr. Bean. He had a whole Blackadder series, and it is so fucking good. We got that on CBC all the time. That was
Oh,
grand.
Blackadder, we had Blackadder because I remember that French episodes, some of them. I'm writing my name to bullet, so there's only one.
I remember the what wow, I think it was on an episode of Blackadder where they did the Scarlet Pumpernickel. instead of and oh, dude. No,
But
Seffi,
yeah, it's
no. Improve it. No, 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 no. If my kid was better than me at COD, I'd have him improving my KD. Fuck yes. But do not,
yeah.
Renzi, don't touch the man's KD.
Do not touch Katie.
That's
Ah, no, you touch KDE, you die.
I cannot let you touch the
Yeah.
man's KD.
It's like when Finnish people are drinking beer, you don't touch that guy's beer at all.
Yep.
You
It's,
will lose your hand. You
that's-
will lose your
it's
hand.
like a Canadian
That's the
thing
same
too.
That's the same as Scottish. Touch a Scottish guy's drink that way, you're fucked.
hmm
It's in German, you lose both hands.
I think it's
What do you call a
Up
German with
here.
no hands? Nothing. He's been told twice.
Up here, that way you lose your nose and you would probably lose your face as well.
Oh, don't do it, Renzi. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do
At
it.
least he might broke your fingers then.
Well, I don't know about that, but he'll definitely
Nah,
lock you
Ooh.
out of the PlayStation, so you'll never get your hands on it again. I can see a
True.
password and an account lock going on that very quickly.
Some reason I can see hammer and fingers at the moment.
I could see definitely the threat of hammer and fingers.
Yeah, fuck no. Fuck no.
But
But yeah.
No, because Friday's Fortnite night, so you can't do that.
exactly.
But yeah. What we were talking about.
Oh, don't do it, Renzi. No,
No.
that's bad.
but
We
yeah,
will
it's
warn him.
yeah, he has been warned, so to say. He has been warned already.
No.
But yeah, it's funny thing that Axel, we did not have much reruns in my when I was younger. We actually started getting more reruns once we get more closer to 20th century. Well, after 90s, we started getting more reruns in series.
That's big. Yeah, I mean because networks over here and in the UK and stuff realized that you guys fucking and so many other countries, Western European countries and Northern European countries, were just ripe for the taking for you guys never seen it. So selling you guys the rebroadcast rights was a fucking gold mine for them in the early 2000s.
Indeed. And the funny thing is that I must say, lately I have been having issues that feels like I have seen so many shows. It's like, okay, I feel like I have seen this series somewhere, and it's like there's nothing new, but a little bit different storyline, but nothing new.
Pretty much.
But when it's funny thing, but when I go to watch Korean series dramas and Japanese dramas, I'm like, okay, this is totally new. I have never seen like this.
Yeah, there's one on Prime if you've got Prime at the moment. They took it from it's Yakuza, like a dragon, or like a dragon
Ooh.
Yakuza.
Yeah, it's from the they're trying to make the games for the series, so I'm actually quite curious about it.
And they did a
So
really
I
good
might
job
at
too.
point-
Why does my camera keep doing this to me?
I don't know. It's auto-focusing at itself all the time, pretty much. But yeah, I might take it on to some point.
Oh, I recommend it. I absolutely recommend it. It was quite good. I have to say it was quite good.
Yeah. It's because I have to actually decide. Okay, this month I want to go with this streaming service. Okay, this month I want to go with this streaming
But
service.
that's
and
actually
so
not
on.
a bad way to do it. I mean, at all. I mean, you'd be
1 month,
surprised what you can watch in a month. Like,
well, I actually know what I can watch a month. I can actually watch pretty much all the series I want in a week.
yeah, you can.
Almost. Well, almost.
Yeah, I mean, you sit
But
most seasons these days are between 6 and 12 episodes, maybe 13.
Which is kind of sad in my opinion.
Yeah,
I remember when season was about almost 24 episodes or so, and now it's just for about less than
But
then.
if you think about it though, right, like a lot of the shows back then, right, you would start after the season, right, and you would get like 2 or 3 episodes into a story, and you'd be like, right, this story's getting good, and then 2 minutes like that way, the next episode you see is all filler episodes that aren't even anything to do with the previous story and that, and then it goes back to the story for
Yeah,
like
some of those
2 or 3
filler
No, no,
episodes,
no.
though.
We're not talking about animation. We are talking about live,
Yeah,
live.
I've
So,
seen what
but not even all animated series actually had filler episodes. Only Bleach and Naruto because they had like hundreds of episodes.
mm-hmm.
So they actually had to have those fillers episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But if
just
we
take
go,
Supernatural for example.
no, but
Even their filler episodes had tie-ins to either the main story or stuff that could like was they were setting up something that could happen in the next season. Like,
yeah. So it worked that way. That way, it worked pretty well,
yeah,
in my opinion.
like,
So, yeah,
hmm. But so
enough said.
yeah, but now like I was mentioning earlier, there's a lot of Christmas content coming down the line. Some of it's already here, some of it's arriving shortly. I know that tomorrow on the 10th, Grand Theft Auto Online is getting a new huge DLC, and coming with that, they are going to be starting their Christmas content. I believe there's going to be Christmas lights and whatnot, and come Christmas Eve, leading up to it, they're going to be having their snowballs fights and their launchers and all that kind of stuff, and they'll have their free gifts on Christmas Day. I know Call of Duty right now has Nuketown all done out, and they've got their holiday Warzone theme going on. And I do believe that the zombies mode will be having a
Liberty
festive theme.
Falls, Liberty Falls is the only map getting changed. They are freezing the lake, and the vermin won't be called vermin. They are going to be called tinsel makers. The armored zombies will have reefs round their neck, and the manglers will have reefs round their neck as well, or something like that. The way this is going to work.
Yep, I know they've
And
got
obviously,
their paid content already out in the store. Their ugly sweaters are ready to go and up and for sale for 2,400 cob points if you've got money to waste on a sweater.
Not that much actually.
Um,
I'm
I,
trying to save.
no,
I'm trying to save actually for one game. I'm actually trying to save at the moment.
and
I
what
would
game are you trying to
rather.
save for at the moment, Raven?
Return to Moria.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, little bit. Just saying. At the moment, me and Chronicles have actually planned that we are actually going to try and play it on the New Year
Yep,
Eve.
most definitely. I'd be interested in
Yeah.
that.
At the moment, I'm just trying to decide: do I want it for the PC or console?
Well, I'm
That
gonna
is
go
what I'm
with
trying to
the
decide.
PC personally. That way, if that way when I'm around, like if we want to go with the if we've got 8 people that we can, you
True.
know, that way at least one of us will
Yeah.
be able to handle the workload.
Yeah. That is what I was thinking because, but it totally depends on is it how if I can find it. Oh, we lost clown. Clown is down. I repeat, clown is down.
If somebody dragged them down, he'll be coming.
Yep, there he is. I'm
Cancel
about
that.
to hear
Cancel
it.
that.
I'm about to hear it any moment. You watch. I'm gonna get.
He's
Hey,
gonna be told off. He's gonna be told off.
how are you? I hope you're well.
It looks fucking wasted.
How was your smoke?
But pissed off at the same time.
I'm sorry I picked you up.
Keep going.
And his camera failed again.
That's about it.
No, he intentionally disabled his camera then. He knew his
Oh.
position of this.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'm sorry I picked you up. kind of.
I know, brother.
Well,
I'm just glad I put Smoke back in his place where he belongs, down at the bottom.
well, he is living in a 2-story outhouse, bottom story for me.
Oh,
Leave me in my fucking wee shed alone, right, dickhead?
I love your wee shed. That's why I put another wee shed on top of it with a hole in the bottom so I can take a shite.
You fucking do that, mate. That way you'll get a stick of dynamite shoved up your ass.
Ooh,
Dynamite in the ass. God
that
damn
sounds
it.
like a fun afternoon, maybe. But anyway,
Sounds
I
well.
love it. I fucking love it.
Hey.
see how I even represented you today and the lack of respect that you've shown.
It's not so much of a
Can't
lack of
believe you.
respect. It's just I'm a general asshole.
That is, sadly.
I think lack of respect and arsehole come in the same bracket.
Or
Right.
same box.
Yeah. Like, that's what I was thinking, Raven.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you for
Seffi, that's
agreeing.
exactly what that means. They are. And they're stuck too. It's like fucking dried leather.
But hi, chat. How are we all doing? Long time no see.
So
I would
Renzi
have been here
Also-
sooner.
has been
but
here waiting
some
for
of us
you.
had an emergency, and some of us just thought, hey, let's just.
I didn't know that you were in the middle of an emergency, sir. I do
Bang out.
Yep,
apologize.
sorry about that.
I would have gone for another
Also,
smoke gladly, and you know it. I thought you were just muted
But yeah.
yourself and was ready to go. My apologies. I misread the room. Not for the first time in my fucking life, let me tell you that.
No, the last.
Oh no!
You'll all be happy
no.
to know that I didn't commit.
I'll be
You'll
the
be
guy
happy
like,
to know
you
that
know,
I
somebody will
didn't
get
commit
killed or something somewhere, and I'll be the guy who walks in like, hey guys, I brought donuts. How is everybody today? Oh.
Oh,
It's like,
What
read
was
the
it,
room,
sorry?
jackass. Nobody wants donuts. Oh,
But if any of you actually want to know, I didn't commit murder, so.
well, no one
Okay.
said you committed murder, but
okay. Now I have to ask Clone, what was the actual question about the Ashoka earlier? Because these damn nuts actually did talk about a lot of top of you, so I did not actually hear it that well. If you would like to ask that again, so I can actually
Well,
try and
my
answer
question-
more clearly.
My question on Star Wars.
Yes, about Ashoka.
So because of the history that I read about Ahsoka, all I wanted to know is because of the fact that the 3 people that I've seen her defeat in her lifetime already, and she's not even middle-aged, I'm thinking, and she like the most badass, because first came Grievous while she was only a child, defeated Vader in hand-to-hand combat, and then went on to beat Darth Maul before he was Darth Maul, and yet we all know him to be a badass. So I was just thinking,
so just to be clear,
and she, in her own technical right, one of the most powerful, whether I'm not quite sure about the side, because I know she's been on both, and I know she's more of what people call a rebel, is it?
Agree.
A grey, sorry. I don't know the terminologies, but I know that she's more of, I would personally call her a nomad. That's the type that I would call her.
That's technically what a grey is. That way, they're neither with the light side or with the dark side, but they are force sensitive.
Regardless, but the point is,
well,
even
actually,
as a nomad,
she is with
if
the light
she
side.
joins
She's just not a
either
Jedi.
side,
She
would
left
she
the order.
not?
But yeah, let me talk now. Okay. Good. Yeah, she actually did beat Grievous, yes. She technically beat Darth Maul as well, but those were technically about her when she was adult. And Darth Vader was as well when she was about adult age. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember actually her race's the lifespan, so I actually can't say if it's teens, early, young adult also.
I thought that she wouldn't have been that old because obviously we know Luke then goes on to kill Vader. Well,
Yeah,
he doesn't kill Vader. Vader commits suicide, but if she fought Vader before his death, she's older than Anakin.
No, 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 no,
He's
no, 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 no.
older, she's older than Luke,
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
which
That's
means
true.
that isn't she with the battle experience that she has? Wouldn't she be stronger than Luke?
Technically, yes, because
Yes.
That was my
point-
question, really, because
Yeah,
I've
and
always
now-
been led to believe Luke was the be all and end all of the Force.
Yeah, that's actually before we actually got the Clone Wars series. So yeah, but so actually we got lots of tie-ins when we got the Clone Wars series. We got lots of tie-ins, so to say, between episode 2 and episode 3, which is actually quite good. And last season episode of the Clone Wars series actually quite nicely ties in with the ending of the episode 3 as well. So so
Yeah, I
actually
did. That one I did dislike. I didn't like the differential time gaps in between episode 1.
yeah, it's
2.
actually
It was
yeah.
just madness to my brain how Anakin went from this to teenager to, oh well, now you're nearly a master. What? Wait,
Actually let's record you again.
I know Luke
Anakin
nearly
actually
slept with his sister, but you've gone through a whole fucking age. Like you
Yeah.
have lifespan.
actually Anakin never got rank of master.
No,
Never.
I know, but he was going to his trials, weren't he? He was
No,
going
no.
to not be a Padawan.
No,
He
it
was
was.
going
Yeah,
to what?
It was
Jedi trials.
classed, no, it was classed as a Jedi Knight at that point, and then because of Sidious, it was granted a seat on the council, but it wasn't granted the rank of master.
Yes.
Uh,
So he's like a intern, so to say. He was intern, like an intern.
So
If
in
I
the
can
first,
use.
so in the first film, they realised that his power was too great, and because of how
It was
he
the
feels emotionally, they were too worried that he'd become dark. Qui-Gon then made Obi-Wan swear that he would train him, which he then does. So why was he then stood in front of the council and they denied him a second time? What was that for?
Because he was too arrogant and
No, but what was he going there for? What was his what rank was he trying to get when he was going for that trial and he was denied it then as well?
master.
Master. So he was going for master then.
Yeah,
So
but
he
he
wasn't
never
even a
got.
Padawan.
No, he was a Jedi Knight because
So even so because of his battle.
smoke. Shut up. I'm talking here. Okay, so
he went from kid to number 2. He was a Padawan, and number 3 he's a knight already wanting to become a master. So
Jedi Knight and
Oh,
Jedi Knight, but because the Clone Wars happened, they actually saw some older bad ones. They just knighted them to the Jedi Knight. So, but yeah,
so
he
does
did
that
not.
make you fans angry? The way that they messed up that whole timeline, or is it something that you guys are like, well, we got the series which explains more to us?
It's a series that explains more to us, in my opinion, which is actually a good thing. But what I'm actually trying to say here is, God damn it, blanking.
I went for a pee. So.
The Jedi were so thin during the Clone Wars that way that a lot of their Padawans get knighted early. And
older bad ones.
older
technically,
okay.
But technically, he was still bad. But technically, he was still Obi-Wan's bad one. So it was like it's funny thing. Obi-Wan is the Jedi Master. But...
So he learned everything under Obi. Because I know I don't get to see any of this. So he learned everything under Obi-Wan instead of the training school that we see all the other Jedis in class.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, because there's actually because you get to. I don't know if I should use abduction, but you will be taken to the Jedi Temple really early age, like when you're about this old.
Well, basically,
so when technically when you're about Anakin, how old Anakin is in episode 1, that is when you actually start getting to Padawan. So
Yeah.
Padawan, so to say, trainees, so to
He
say.
was already well over age when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan found him.
Well over.
But
Yes.
the fact is that when Qui-Gon tested his blood and his levels came even higher than Yoda's,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan is old enough to remember the prophecy about the chosen one and the balance and it turning it.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon, especially
So
because
it
that was
was,
his area of expertise, was in Jedi
and
lore.
and also Qui-Gon was only great Jedi of the console because he was actually more of a. So Great Jedi. Okay, I'll let it go a little bit for the Great Jedi for this time. Great Jedi is actually is between balance of the dark and light side. So he has knowledge somewhat of both sides, but he doesn't lean.
That was
He doesn't.
I was just about to ask you
It
that
doesn't.
question. Was Qui-Gon a grey?
Qui-Gon, Mace Windu.
So he was pretty much at the balance on the both sides
It's
because
the
of
same.
knowledge.
Did he ever meet Ashoka?
No.
No,
No.
he was dead
So
before he
Qui-Gon
met
and
us.
Ashoka never.
No, he
met.
was
No.
dead.
Nope.
Qui-Gon and Ahsoka never met. So technically, see Mace Windu, right? Mace Windu uses a purple lightsaber. He's the only Jedi that uses a purple lightsaber. Is because he uses Vapad, which is
And he's also the only
focusing
Jedi that
on-
knows
Created
Shatterpoint.
because Samuel L. Jackson
No.
wouldn't be in the film without a purple lightsaber.
But no, just because of that. That way, it fits into the story more because the reason for the purple in his lightsaber color is because.
I know,
with-
I understand lightsabers. That's the
uses-
one thing Tyler taught me. I understand every color is what they specialize in.
But it's not just that as well, right? So as we're saying that that way Qui-Gon was a grey. Technically, Mace Windu is a grey as well, but he leans more into the darker side.
Yep.
That's why his lightsaber is purple.
Yep.
When Windu is fighting, he uses a darker side of the Force to that way to up his speed.
He
up his
somewhat
power,
uses a
up his
controlled
power and all
anger.
that. Yes.
So why is Yoda's green like Qui-Gon's then?
Because Yoda's more focused and calm and more using the good side of the Force, whereas
Same with the Qui-Gon.
same
So
with
is
Qui-Gon.
green is pure.
Green is
Pretty
the
much
top.
what you're trying to say is
Pretty
pure
much
heart, pure nature, but has so much force they could do whatever they wanted, but focus it only on.
Yes, pretty much your green lightsaber is the
So
top
what's
of the
blue?
pencil. Blue is like your pad one, and then training
Knight.
type.
Blue
ones,
is your knight, your average knight, your.
And
Obi-Wan had blue throughout his whole life.
That's because
Because
Obi-Wan was
some
just a Jedi Knight.
But it's not just that. Some people tend to keep with the blue lightsaber as well. So their kyber crystal, it all depends on how much they focus into it when they're creating their lightsaber, what colour it is. So technically, at one stage, every lightsaber is blue. When they're younglings, they use a blue lightsaber. And then sometimes they carry that crystal over with them as they get into their knighthood when they remake their lightsaber. But is some
Actually, no, they do not remake their
No,
lightsabers.
once they've made their lightsaber, that's their lightsaber. That's their. That's one of the things that marks their passing into Jedi Knight.
Now I don't understand what you both, because you two are talking top of each other. I have no idea what Smoke was talking. I have no idea what Chronicles was talking.
I was saying when I was saying the proto saber that way, the first saber they get when they're young ones, the training saber is blue, right? So when they eventually pass on from that training part that way, and they go and find their crystal and then make their lightsaber, a lot of the time some of them focus their energy into it and it goes blue. A lot of the time others focus it and it goes green, which means like a stronger kind of connection to the Force. You've got more balance within the Force.
I tell them about gold.
Not the droid you're looking for.
Yellow is a rare type of crystal.
So what's the white one?
White is a purified Sith crystal.
Yep. White is that's why Ahsoka's is white because she purified.
So see say you were to say Qui-Gon killed Darth Maul, right? And within that battle, he lost his lightsaber. Qui-Gon lost his original lightsaber, right? Say he was to pick up Darth Maul's and bleed and try and purify the
Put
Kyber
his
crystal.
energy into Darth Maul's, it'd come up
Right.
white and not.
It would go white instead of so that way with the dark side, the way they do it is they take a Jedi's Kyber crystal that way light of blue or green and they bleed it and that's why it turns red. But yet again, a lot of Sith crystals, Kyber crystals are synthetic Kyber crystals.
I know, I'm with it now. I understand this.
But I know,
I understand this a lot better than the goddamn timeline. I'm telling you that now.
And the Inquisitors are all synthetic.
The Inquisitors
Okay. Okay, let's maybe a little bit talk about blue lightsaber. I'm actually just reading here about lightsabers at the moment. Blue lightsabers are said to present righteousness and bravery, mostly by association with what Jedi stands for, as well as the user's strong spiritual alignment with this crystal. This color was used by characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Count Dooku before he fell to the dark side. In Star Wars Legends, this color is designated to the Jedi Guardian, once again mirroring Star Wars prequel trilogy. Goddamn, I can't talk to them tonight.
That's okay. We know it's late for you.
Yeah. As in Star Wars, this is much because laws are within totally different with the canon and legend, so it's hard to actually find.
Like everything else, Star Wars actually has two fucking sides to it as well.
Well, it does because there's the Lucas canon that had all the books and extended universe before Disney took it over, and now that's been just all the books and everything like that has just been turned to legends, and we're really still a lot of the ways. A lot of this, the lightsaber stuff these days has actually been, the new stuff has been taken from the Disney fucking what's the name of the theme park that they've got set up where you can build your own lightsaber and shit?
Galaxy's Edge.
But anyway, yeah, I want to go there.
Galaxy
yeah, I want to go there, and I want my fucking lightsaber.
No, but that's the right. So that's the thing. See, the thing with the newer style of Star Wars, it's all focused more on the story and no the lightsaber battles. The lightsaber duels were which made Star Wars back in the day.
Not always.
The choreography and all that.
Not always, man. I mean,
not always, but it was. If you think about it, the way Disney have just turned it round. Oh, but you get stabbed with a lightsaber and that way, oh, back to tank. Fuck, where was that when that way Qui-Gon get fucking stabbed through the chest? I thought
the original Star Wars were hilarious with the guy.
Oh God, stormtroopers couldn't hit the. That's one thing I loved about Bill Burr. He got so mad when he got called us. I can actually hit something. I wasn't a fucking stormtrooper.
Hold on a minute, right? We all say that stormtroopers have shit aim, right?
But it's their helmet.
No, but yet, right? A lot of the stormtroopers in the beginning were originally clone troopers. So how the fuck were the clone troopers missing their targets then?
Okay,
but
so
I get it. The helmets, the way they changed the helmets, fucked up their vision.
But if I know this, aren't the original clones based on Fett, who's actually like an assassin? So technically, you have just got an army of assassins, and they couldn't hit a fucking barn door.
Well, no. Okay. See, so after the events of Revenge of the Sith, and even during the events of Revenge of the Sith, one of the reasons why the Emperor was throwing all the clones he was basically trying to finish getting rid of them, and he phased out the clone troopers like as soon as he could for zealots, anybody who would anybody who could join up, and he even did conscriptions. Go ahead. Sorry, Raven. My apologies.
Yeah, no worries.
Is that number 4?
Yeah. Okay, I found a little bit better explaining side for the Kyber crystals. Blue is color of skillet force users. Green is the philosopher's blade. Red is color of the Sith. Purple represents balance.
I keep facing a reality here.
Yeah. Yellow is the color for more personal Jedi. And it was more likely Jedi Sentinels that were guarding the temple.
Temple guard were yellow.
Temple
yes.
cards, yeah.
And white
Orange
is spirit.
actually, yeah, orange is actually newer color that actually was
Would you say it
introduced
was
in
more-
Ahsoka series.
Mhm.
Orange
Yes?
was the amount of colors that were on. That's why I brought up them games. Strike.
and White.
But yeah, it's
Force Awakened games.
The Force
And I always
Awakens
thought
I have
the
both
amount
of
of
those. They're
colours
so good.
that they had in there, there were 3 colours that I never saw in any of the films, and that was orange, yellow, and purple, which then obviously then comes out along with the next 3. And I
Yeah.
was like, so what are them two? Or are they just literally made up for the game just to give extra customizations?
extra customization.
Yeah.
A lot of the colours in the games were just extra
Customization.
customization.
It's
Yeah.
the ones in Star Wars Jedi Outcast and stuff like that. They are pretty spot on to what you can get in.
Are any of the games canon?
No, not anymore. They were.
No.
Yeah. Now the canon colors are blue, green, red, purple,
Gold.
yellow,
and
orange, and white.
Oh, so there is
Also,
orange.
There is now.
Yeah, now there is orange. And let's not forget Dark Saber.
The Dark Saber.
Oh, the new black one.
Yeah, well, it's not new.
So
That
why-
has been
but
around
also-
since Knights of the Old Republic.
The Dark Saber's been around
Yeah.
since pre-Vizsla.
So
Yeah,
why are
it's,
Vizsla was
first-
the original Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah, because he was
Yeah.
the way he did, the way he put his into it came out. And it's semi-sentient.
Aye.
Yeah.
It's the only lightsaber that is actually semi-sentient.
Aye.
It
Yeah.
has its own
That's why.
partial consciousness.
That's why I don't think the Dark Saber's gone. Although it was destroyed in at the end of
No,
the
it's not. It's not.
It's not gone. The crystal
it's not
wasn't
gone.
destroyed. The hilt was destroyed.
Aye,
The
the
crystal
hilt
was not
destroyed, but
destroyed.
The crystal was, yes.
They are going
Hilt
to
was remade.
Yeah.
But what were you? What was somebody going to say a minute ago?
I was going to say, so we've got their colors down, but so why does even people with the same color, why do their lightsabers look different?
The
It's the way they
hilts.
built them.
It's the hilt is an extension of yourself. Sometimes it is.
So Luke's one, it looked like a purer beam, whereas Obi-Wan's looked like it was a thicker beam, but it also had like this glow to it, which made it feel like it was a lot bigger than what it was. Whereas Luke's was the same color, yet the beam on his lightsaber always looked like pure energy without any glow off it, and
Not really explained, because I think it's really just down. That's just down to who's doing the visual effects and the technology they have for visual effects at the time. But
Yeah.
I think it
But
could be
also-
explained as how they built their hilts, or
Yeah. Also, there's actually also, I don't remember where it was explained, but in the lightsaber, let's use lightsaber. There's actually where they can actually give more length or decrease the
the
length.
book I Jedi.
oh, so it's
The book
even
I
got an
Jedi
adjustment.
originally introduced that.
Darth Vader does
Oh.
it. Darth Vader uses
See, I
it
thought,
every now and again.
the lightsaber just came from their energy and the crystal. The
No.
crystal just literally gave their energy like Vegito, for instance. You
Like
know,
a focusing.
That's what I thought the lightsaber was.
So have you heard, right, so see the way you hear every normal lightsaber, it's like a type thing. See with Kylo Ren's, Kylo Ren's is different because he is using the cracked version of he is using the actual Darth Vader's cracked kyber crystal, so the energy's pouring out it. That's why you hear a crackling sound coming from
Yeah,
Kylo
because
Ren's lightsaber.
Ren was such a Vader
Yeah,
fanboy, it was ridiculous.
But again, each lightsaber works different as well because
Yep.
it is the only lightsaber that whatever worked underwater was Plo Koon's lightsaber. No, Kit Fisto's lightsaber was the only lightsaber to work underwater. Whereas every other Jedi's lightsaber would not work
Like
underwater.
the construction of a lightsaber, you are supposed to take things that have some sort of value to you as
Connection to
well.
you.
Yeah, a
It's
connection.
no, it's they.
Like
It's like those parts talk to you. Actually, there's actually an episode in Clone
And
Wars where
Yes.
it's explained much better.
yes,
Right,
there is.
I
There's
know exactly what episode you're talking about because it's the younglings that have
Yep.
just went and collected their
Yeah, it's Youngling
Yep.
episode. Yeah,
and it doesn't
Right.
David Tennant voice the robot in that?
robot. Yes,
And he comes
And
back
in
to voice the
Ahsoka as
robot
well.
in Ahsoka. Yeah, he does.
Very him as
Yeah.
well, right? A wee fact for you, know. Did you know that the reason Emperor Palpatine, the reason for Emperor Palpatine's lightsaber being the way it was made was because it was to put disgrace on the Jedi, but it was also made by like the purest, like all that. See that gold that only certain Jedi are allowed to use on their lightsabers, i.e. Mace Windu, but Yoda doesn't have it. But you see the traces of gold, which is a rare material that was only found in Coruscant. Emperor Palpatine's lightsaber was made fully of that. It was made in disgrace of the Jedi, that way just to like fuck with them. But he also had multiple placed round about his room and round about his room as well, but the gold one always stayed up his sleeve, and it was just to disrespect the Jedi.
I'm guessing that's Darth Sidious, isn't it? Palpatine?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he hated fucking the Jedi with more passion than.
Well, not as much passion as what fucking Anakin had for him come Revenge of the Sith.
But
Well,
that was all because of
Really?
all because of
that was
Obi-Wan
because of
trained him,
Sidious.
raised him, and he was willing to kill him and go up against him. I'm telling you, the hatred that he had for him was.
But I think it was more desperation than hatred. He really truly thought that the only way to save the woman that he loved was to gain as much power as quickly as possible.
But yeah, he was the one that ended up killing her.
Yeah.
No, and that's my point.
Yeah, that's usually how it
And then
goes.
blames the one man that never lied to him his entire fucking life.
Rage blinds a person.
To a certain extent, but in their way of life, with their way of thinking.
That's I'm just about to say. That way, if you hear Yoda, anger leads to hate.
Hate leads to
fear, and fear leads to the dark side.
And fear leads to suffering, and
suffering leads to buffering. So
and
what
buffering
was
leads
the
to
difference
addiction.
between Anakin and Luke? Because Luke had the same upbringing. My man comes home to find his aunt and uncle murdered. Like,
yeah, but
it doesn't get much.
Luke always knew of like his father's great hanging and all that. Yes,
and he was also told that Vader murdered his father for the longest time.
But it wasn't until a lot of the stuff that had happened, he realised that the only way to solve it was by trying to break his father out of this control that Sidious had over him.
Yep,
and so was Vader under control the whole time?
Technically,
not
yes.
Yeah.
Not Anakin, but Vader himself. Once he took the form.
Well, technically, they are two same persons, so you can use Anakin and Vader.
Yeah, you can interchange Anakin and Vader. Yeah.
Anakin and Vader are the same person. Yes, is at the end of
I get that they're the same person, but Sidious didn't have control over Anakin.
He gained control over Anakin at the Revenge. That's why he midway.
But that comes in film 3. I'm not talking about Revenge of the Sith Anakin. By Revenge of the Sith, we already see Trick, or even me who watched the original 3 religiously. Believe me, I love the first 3, what I call the first 3.
Well, technically, chronologically, they are first three.
Yeah.
Chronological
So,
order.
For
so from the
me,
very
he didn't
time,
have control over Anakin from the Phantom Menace, did
Yep.
he?
just
No.
He
about.
didn't have his control
He did
No.
though, just about, because he was an honored
Mm.
guest multiple times in the Emperor's palace from the time that he was brought to Coruscant. So
Yes,
from the
but
time and not only that, but half the reason why the Jedi didn't full on trust him was, or some of the Jedi didn't full on trust him, was because of how ingrained he was in the in his life, in his how close he was to him. He'd go over to fucking Palpatine, Sheev Palpatine's, like, just that was his friend. Like Obi-Wan would pop to the diner or something like that
that
every
was
now and
only
again.
that was more in his like coming to the end of the Clone Wars and
Oh
into the
no, it was the
Revenge.
whole dude. If you
Yes,
read any of the, if you
I know I
the
do.
tie-in books will say,
Yeah,
Right,
but
but from
even
the
the new
film,
never
tie-in
happened.
books, they're trying to make it so that Sheev Palpatine, Anakin, one of the reasons why he was able to turn against the Jedi so easily is because he saw Sheev Palpatine more as a father figure and
no,
a
that's not what the film led you to
no,
believe at
but
all.
it's not just the films that you gotta. It's all the tie-ins, the flashbacks that they did through all the different shows. Him just in and of himself, in different tie-in media, like fucking in the books and stuff like
But
that. Comic books, especially these
But that's
days.
what I mean.
right, so that's the thing, right? So for a young age, like she was trying to influence Anakin, right? But you don't see the full influence takeover
Yes,
until Revenge of the Sith when he's storming with Dooku that way, and she goes, "Do it," and
and
Anakin that way.
No, 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 'cause I
Obi-Wan
still
pretty
believe
much-
that he had hooks in him before
No,
that scene
oh, he
with
had his
Master
hooks in him
Windu.
since he was like 10.
In Revenge, in
aye.
Revenge of the Sith, I see what Chronic is saying because in the film they do show Anakin and Obi-Wan just turning up at his office, and he's like, "Well, I need the Jedi's help." Da 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 da.
Yeah, but it
And
was
then he
like
takes
that,
Anakin to the side, and he
always
starts
like that.
talking to him and says, "Remember, boy, that they
Yes.
fear you as much as they think you're their savior.
That's
Just
the thing.
remember that."
And that's what he was doing his whole life.
He was
Yeah, but
he was
they
trying to
don't show any of
manipulate.
that.
Aye, she
Yeah,
was trying to manipulate
they cut it for time restraints and stuff too, right?
the prophecy for the dark side.
Oh no, but I get as someone that never understood it, I didn't know until Revenge of the Sith that Palpatine was Sidious. Obviously, I did not know this. I've
Hmm.
watched the first three and I was like, cool. I know Darth Vader is. Oh no, shit, that's Luke's father. Oh, and this is about Luke's father, so I know he's going to become Darth Vader by the end. That's all that I know.
Really, Sheev had his claws in Anakin that way he pretty much found out about him that way when the Jedi brought him back to the temple. But because of how
You go down there,
separate
Raven.
he is,
You
And
look.
that's what I mean because he wasn't trained at the temples in the
it was,
films.
it,
He was
it, was-
trained by in the films though. He was trained by Obi-Wan. Everything he had to learn,
aye,
Obi-Wan had to do it
it was-
all, but he had to do it by their rules and
yeah.
how they would do it.
But it
But
was
he had
also
to be
within the
the only.
temple. It was also within the temple that way he was trained, but it was just under Obi-Wan. No one else helped him. Master Yoda did step in a couple of times after he was knighted. He
Yeah, I
betrayed.
remember that from watching the first two seasons of the original animated series.
Yeah.
I do understand that part.
Again, like that way, it was more the as we say as well. It was more the fear of losing the people that it hanged that he loved that turned Anakin. That's what Palpatine manipulated within
Yep.
his head.
Yep. Those
And
dreams
that's
were all from Palpatine.
aye. All their dreams was Palpatine
Yep. And he even said, even as a child, he'd have those dreams.
So the dreams aren't Anakin foreseeing the future.
No,
They
they're Sheev putting it in his head to make him think he's seeing the future, so that
some were glimpses of the future like that way, but she was just intensifying in it.
and manipulating.
So Anakin does. So Anakin would have had the ability,
Yes.
because he is that strong.
Yes.
Come if Obi-Wan had carried on and then he had taken.
If he had been trained by Qui-Gon Jinn instead of Obi-Wan, Sheev Palpatine wouldn't have standed a chance to.
Yeah, because actually because
Qui-Gon
Obi-Wan actually
don't trust-
treated
Qui-Gon says he doesn't trust anyone in that city, not even the Jedi Council.
Go ahead,
Aye.
Raven.
Yep.
Is Raven was about to say that way, and I'll let you finish before I get into what I was going to say about it, because I think I know what you're going to say.
But yeah, as Obi-Wan treated Anakin more like brother, as Qui-Gon was would have treated Anakin more like as father, as Anakin actually needed father figure, not brother, and well, Obi-Wan was quite young when he took Anakin, so
And Obi-Wan was literally just about to take his trial, weren't he? Because him and Qui-Gon are talking about it at the start of Phantom Menace, about him now be taking the trial to become whatever the rank was.
He was meant to become a knight, but because Obi-Wan killed Maul, Obi-Wan get fast tracked to pretty much under Master at that point and get granted a seat on the council because he was the first person to kill a Sith in 1,000 years.
Yeah, but I'm still correct. He in the Phantom Menace at the start technically is still a Padawan.
Aye, yes.
Thank you.
Actually,
So
let me
Padawan, a Padawan that won one major battle managed to get another Padawan. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay. No wonder he was fucked from the start.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Raven?
No, he was fucked.
But
He
yeah.
didn't. Everything stacked against him. He didn't really stand a chance.
Yeah. Also, let me go a little bit backtrack for the Jedi ranks. Actually,
God, I hope.
Initiate is the Jedi that is brought to the temple by young age.
Youngland.
Initiating. It's like a toddlers or
Yep.
when they are toddlers are so.
Ahsoka was taken as a very small child.
Initiate, youngling, Padawan.
I'm actually younglings are the basic training
I'll be right
period at the
back.
temple. It's when it's for younglings.
About 5 to 10.
I'm actually trying to. And Padawan is apprentice assigned to master.
What dictates when you become a Padawan?
What?
What would dictate how you become a Padawan? Because if you're a Padawan, then you get assigned to a certain. Is it a master?
Actually,
can it be a master or a knight? Who gets trained?
I'm actually trying to. I was trying to go there, and now that you ask, and I'm still reading about that. Sometimes after crafting their first lightsaber, adolescent Jedi are selected by or paired with the Jedi Master or Jedi Knight for practical training. Before Clone Wars, this often involved the Padawan accompanying their master on various off-road missions, where they would gain real-world experience and put what they learned to the test. However, during Clone Wars, Jedi Order was forced to start assigning Padawans instead of giving masters the luxury of choosing their own. Due to increasing galactic conflict, Padawans became more of military resource for the Republic. So before the Clone Wars, masters chose their Padawans, and in the Clone Wars, Padawans were assigned. So technically, because they were assigned, they did not actually get maybe not the best.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, because Qui-Gon chose Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't you tell me that Obi-Wan was a Grey?
No.
No, he chose Obi-Wan because he was pure.
Qui-Gon initially got offered a seat a seat on the council, but he refused. But he was technically still a master.
Yep.
But just never had a seat. And as Raven just says, all masters are granted a Padawan to train.
So but not all masters have a seat on the council.
Exactly. So when Obi-Wan was brought into the temple, Qui-Gon seen something within him that sparked a thingy that way. So that's how the two of them were like good together. And then Qui-Gon obviously went on to train Obi-Wan. And then the Clone Wars happened. Luke's master was Yoda.
That's what I was just about to ask, because
Well, Luke's
obviously
first master
Obi-Wan
was technically Ben
gives him, like,
Kenobi.
basic training, but dies very early. But why did Yoda choose to train Luke?
Because
Knowing who Luke was.
Technically, the first Luke's first master, as Chronic said, was Kenobi, but
Yep.
he wasn't fully trained within the full Jedi power until Yoda.
yeah, and Yoda was always planning on training Luke.
Yes.
That was part of the plan as the
That's
reason
why
why
he
they
fucked
sent his
off
ass out to
to.
middle of buttfuck nowhere to be
That's
raised
why
as a
he fucked off
simple
to.
Dago,
farm boy.
Forest of Dagobah? Dagobah?
So
That's
that
why.
brings
That's
me-
why. The
And he
reason
hid on
Yoda.
Dagobah as
Aye.
the Force sent it was a Force nexus of dark side energy, and it would be a lot easier for him to hide next to that dark side energy than
A
it
lot
would
easier to
be.
train. Aye, and it would
Yeah.
have been a lot easier to train
Also,
in that place as well when the time
Yeah.
came.
also
why
this is
did
explained
Yoda-
by the Clone Wars as well. This is pretty much explained on there
Yes.
as well.
Yeah. Like
So why
Yoda
did
had been to
Yoda
Dagobah
not
before the events
Mhm.
happened, and he knew
Now
about
it's let's
Dagobah.
clown talk. Let clown talk.
But I want to
So
talk over people.
So why did Yoda not choose to train Anakin, knowing that he could have changed the outcome of that, but chose from the beginning to train Luke?
Okay, so
Uh,
basically,
It kind of made a
That-
fuck up.
he knew he
Like,
made a
Yoda was-
mistake in the long
Mhm.
run,
Is
and
that why he then chose to train Luke from the very off, knowing that
Mhm.
Luke was going to be born?
yep, and raised by his aunt and
And
uncle
can
who
I
were
ask, does
simple
Leia have
farmers.
any Force power?
Oh,
Yes,
Leia.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
Leia
she's more
Force
powerful
powers,
than
yeah.
Luke.
She
That's why
actually
at the
gets
end
trained by
of
Luke.
that's why at the end of Empire, when you got Ben's ghost saying to
Yeah.
Yoda, and all that is our only hope, and he's like, no, there is another. That's his sister.
And look, actually, if you get to read the books and all that way, Luke actually goes on to train Leia,
Mhm.
and Leia's actually Luke's first Padawan within the new Jedi Temple.
Okay.
Because
And
she
then-
leaves
Also,
politics for a couple of years to
Leia,
train as a Jedi. And it's only when she gets pregnant with
and-
the fucking the twins that
the
she.
twins at first, aye. But you don't hear it. The twins aren't the canon. The only canon one we hear of is Ben Solo, which then becomes Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you've got Leia and Han have got
Welcome
fucking
back,
three
Renzi.
different Four wings.
Get
But yes, Leia does have Force powers, but because of her standing within the General Army and her upbringing and all that way of being royalty, she then decides to become a representative, a face of the Republic, and that way step away from the Jedi stuff, leave that to Luke to train the next generation.
Luke fucked off, mate. Luke went.
But that's insane.
Yeah,
He let his sister fight in the war. He was like, I'm going on holiday, mate. I need a long, long
The
holiday.
reason he fucked off is because of the fact that he was
Red.
getting Snook.
Trying to get this
and
damn camera to
Palpatine
focus today
were
is a nightmare.
influencing, like giving him these dreams, but it was that he was intercepting the dreams that they were trying to send to Ben Kenobi. No, Kylo Ren. That way, so Snook and Palpatine were trying to influence Ben Solo, which then in turn, that way, because of how strong Luke is connected, that way he intercepted those dreams, and that's why you see him storming over Ben Kenobi to go about to kill him at one point within the newer movies, because Luke was scared of that happening. That's why then Ben eventually turned and killed everybody and burnt down the Jedi Temple. That's why Luke fucked off and hid, because he was ashamed.
Yep. It was his biggest
But yeah,
shame.
let me go back to the ranks, because we were still talking about those as well. But yeah, as a bad one, you actually get to chosen between 11 and there's no real set age with Jedi Essence to become Padawan. Some have been recorded chosen as young as 11 or 12. Although Obi-Wan Kenobi was considered unusually young when he was chosen at age 14. There's also no set age for graduation either. Padawans receive intense training from their masters. master, but they are also still trained in group, as seen. I don't know if I could say acolyte anymore. As then Jedi Knight.
That's definitely a bad review that I've definitely seen going around. I can't.
The only one thing that does the acolyte decent is the dark side fucking dude. Is it Marek? No, it's no Merrick. It does begin with an M though.
The only one that I can honestly say that I've enjoyed since the films is The Mandalorian, and that's only because Chronic told me to watch it, and I watched the first season, and I was like, yeah, this is actually really good. Fair play to him.
Yeah, but yeah, as continuing, for Padawan to graduate and become Jedi Knight, they first have to pass the Jedi trials. But these trials consist of varies from Jedi to Jedi, as each Jedi deal with different difficult experience at some point. When Padawan overcomes series of difficulties, the Council will officially recognize them as Jedi Knights.
Yeah, I guess Obi-Wan watching his fucking father figure die right in front of him and overcoming the battle of fighting the first Sith that anyone's seen in however long. Yeah, I guess that would up his rank a few.
Yeah. Anakin Skywalker became Jedi Knight after Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. With Jedi Council leaving Padawans who survive a battle of Geonosis as ready.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ahsoka Tano technically passed the Jedi trials when she was acquainted responsibility for terrorist act. The Jedi Council told her that her ordeal was proven her character and that she was allowed to graduate. Realizing the Jedi has fallen what they once were, Ahsoka refused.
Mm-hmm. That was after they acquitted her, told her to leave, and then when they found everything out that they were wrong, they tried to.
But yeah, this is. But yeah, as I still say, it's better watch the Clone Wars series because they explain quite well, even though their timelines are quite messed up before the season 7.
Even at that, the Bad Batch is a really good watch as well, because that explains quite a bit of the Clone Wars and the shit as well within it.
Yeah, pretty much after the Order 66, it explains pretty well what happens after Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who needs to watch anything? But you free.
Because Jedi Velvet. Okay, now I'm talking about Master. Jedi Master. Because Jedi Velvet cooperation rather than competition, the rank of Jedi Master was bestowed upon those who had trained a Padawan to knighthood. Not only was it essential for a knight to prove they could teach that they'd learned, but it's also important to learn to let go of their Padawans. The Jedi Council hesitated to grant Anakin the rank of Master because he never truly let go of Ashoka. While it was uncommon for any Jedi below the rank of Master to grant the seat of the Jedi Council, Anakin was a rare exception.
No, that when you say that about Ahsoka, I know I remember that way because that way he did eventually, like, after it all had happened and that way they tried to invite Ahsoka back, he did take it a bit personal that way he didn't realise that he was in the wrong. Aye. And he didn't get over it.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
And without him even noticing, and he failed it miserably.
But yeah, most Jedi climb the ranks ended their careers and Jedi as a Jedi Master, but one final rank, the Jedi Grand Master, was held one considered to be wisest of the Jedi Masters. During prequel era, Yoda was the Grand Master of the Jedi Order. 200 years earlier, during High Republic era, he actually shared that role with the Grand Master Prater Veter. It's so hard name to say.
So back then, that way there was 2 Grandmasters. It was kind of similar to the Spartans. They would have one Grandmaster that would stay at the temple and one Grandmaster that would be out in the battlefield. In a way,
yeah. It's worth noting that Jedi path is not one of seeking power, but rather wisdom. The Jedi Grandmaster is one considered the wisest, not the most powerful. This set the Jedi Star Wars apart from the Sith, who considered acquiring power as their supreme goal.
But but what you just said there as well, right? That way, they didn't like the Grandmaster didn't want to acquire power. It was mere wisdom. Technically, Yoda was strong as fuck, wise as fuck, and like pretty much unbeatable. The only thing,
But he was also the oldest
right,
as well.
he was
Wasn't wise enough to train Anakin, though.
I think he was because he was Grandmaster, but that is actually hard to explain why he did not. That's hard to explain actually. So that is the question that I cannot answer at all because there's so many.
That is sometimes you've got to let go of the Padawan. Maybe him not taking another Padawan was what he had to do in order to be a Grandmaster.
No, because again, that way there's a lot of variables why it didn't train Anakin. Like, because if you think about it as well, right, that way it was cut out of the movie, but when Anakin comes back from that way, well, comes back and tells like Windu and all that way about Palpatine, Anakin's actually meant to be sitting there talking to Grandmaster Yoda. And Yoda is talking through it, but that gets cut. It's the same as that way. He's actually meant to, after that talk and all that, he's meant to realise and actually go and help Windu and fucking all that instead of kill them. But no, I think what Yoda senses a lot of the darkness and the blockage that within Anakin that he does, and like how because of how old he was when he was brought into the Jedi stuff and all, into the Jedi Temple, it was going to be hard to train him, so that's why they refused. Even when
Luke was how old? Yeah, go on. Next excuse.
Look, that was different though, because the Jedi Order wasn't a bit about at that point.
Yeah, but if he is the Grand Master, it is your rule. If he said to Windu in that lot, do you know what? I know what our law is, but if I don't take this kid, or us as Grandmasters do not take this kid on and make sure that his path is righteous and laid before him, so the doubt that he has of belonging is never faltered or tested. Because from the off, let's face it, he's left his only fucking family, his mum, to go somewhere where he was promised he was special. Got there, got told, yeah, you're not, mate. You might be special, but not here though.
That's another thing. That way, a lot of the Jedi Masters didn't really like Qui-Gon.
Did they not opt more damage into him turning to the dark side from the off then? And that's my point.
That's what Yoda.
If Yoda had made that wise decision and gone, yo.
That's where, again, it does say that within like the later episodes, that way it wasn't wise enough at that point to see the struggle that Anakin was going through. That's why he decided to train Luke, because he didn't want it happening again.
Yeah, I get.
But yeah, it's but as you say, it doesn't make sense. But it's actually hard, like I said, it's hard to explain what actually are their actual reasons. But at first, nobody didn't actually want to train Anakin at all. Only Obi-Wan wanted to train Anakin.
No, it was
Qui-Gon.
Because even Obi-Wan questioned him, didn't he? Obi-Wan questioned Qui-Gon being so persistent. Why would you go up against him?
Because I don't remember. But anyway, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, but still. Even at the end, they did not want to take Anakin as Padawan, but Obi-Wan insisted because he made promise to Qui-Gon.
What have you got to say, Chronic?
I think Chronic has nothing to say because he has no idea what we have been talking.
And his mic's no done.
It's now. No, I
So, so,
after talking
so
to my boss or my manager about not going in tonight, I needed a joint. So apparently one of the
okay.
dispatchers at
I
work.
I was asking the question of why would what so Raven realizes that I've actually asked a really good question. Smoke came up with some poxy excuse just to keep his Starman Yoda out of being done dirty.
No.
Uh, I'm
But,
joking.
Okay, what's the
there's
But
question? What's the
multiple
question?
everything is hypothetical because, as Raven stated, it's not actually been told, but by the end it did. Why do you think Yoda did not train Anakin when he could have changed the outcome, but then went on to train Luke?
Well, that's a multifaceted answer, really. Okay, so for one, Sidious was using dark side uh, magic, so to speak, with the possible help of one or multiple of the Night Sisters to cloud the uh, vision of the future from the Jedi. He was intentionally, along with Maul and possibly any other gray to dark side user that he could manipulate to help cloud the Force from Yoda seeing the future. And in this, Yoda misread signs and misread multiple things and made the mistake of not full on listening to Qui Gon when Qui Gon made the plea.
So that would be my next point. So you agree that they took a poor little boy who has now lost his only relative in his mum, took him to a city where you promised him something, and he got rejected as soon as he turned up. Don't you think you just literally already caused more doubt in what you've already
Mhm.
said is, oh, your mind is too clouded and this and
Yeah,
of
no,
course
well,
it is.
no,
You just fucking told him he's not good enough.
well, no,
He just
his
got
mind
stripped
wasn't
away
cloud.
from his mum.
The reason why they said they made the mistake of was because Yoda's mind was unable to see the vision of the Force, a vision of the future in the Force because Sidious had clouded the Force and muddled it with the dark side. Um, as well, he usually would have taken more advice from Qui Gon, but a few things were going on at the time, like the resurgence of the possible Sith Lord and stuff like that, clouding the visions of the Force.
Yeah, but
He
once again,
believed,
weren't that Qui-Gon that brought that to their attention that he had
yes,
felt
I,
that
yep,
disturbance?
a lot of the time that way because of the outlandish shit that Qui Gon done. The council never really took a lot of his words serious.
yes.
They acted
It
on
was
certain, they
only
acted on certain parts.
it was really only after Qui Gon appeared to Yoda as a Force ghost and
Mm-hmm.
taught him knowledge that he had learned that from the afterlife, and that he had also learned in the afterlife, like becoming a Force ghost, that as well as the downfall of the Republic, the eradication of the Jedi Order, pretty much. All of this led to Yoda realizing that I fucked up. I should have trained the boy proper as soon as he walked in the door.
Yeah. So you agree with everyone after I asked a simple question that, okay, yeah, as much as Yoda is as righteous and as wise and as everything,
Oh,
he
Yoda,
fucked up.
Yoda
don't
knew
get
he
me
fucked
wrong.
up.
Uh,
That's
ah,
Aye,
why Yoda's so fucking
aye.
wise, is because he could
what?
recognize when
No,
he
but that's
fucked
what I
up.
mean. So all them deaths of the younglings, the
He blamed
Baileys,
himself.
that's on Yoda.
And he blamed
Aye,
himself
that's why he
entirely.
fucked off. That's why he fucked off to Dagobah for years.
Yep.
That's what he exiled himself to
Yep.
Dagobah
He exiled
because
himself to a
of
dark side nexus.
the fact of that way the young one's death, the fact that he couldn't save Anakin when he could have done something,
Hmm.
and no listening to what was going on because every possible way after Qui Gon's death, he was trying to point the Jedi in the direction. Look, train the fucking boy.
Yes,
But no,
exactly, Sephi. That
They just
happened a lot with the rule of two. The Sith Master would actually have multiple apprentices and hide them
yeah,
from
I
one another.
understood that part. I get that part.
uh,
But the
Um,
first one,
and would even put
Sefi
them
actually.
against each other at times.
the first thingy that Sephi put was pretty funny.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know, I
Yeah.
saw. And I think that Harrison just has the same armor as Batman. It's called plot armor, and he lost that armor when J.J. Abrams took a hold of things and convinced him to come back and get the death that he wanted in Empire.
Mm, but then
Why
the
do I
thing,
keep?
right?
It's
Right,
like my
but,
it's
right,
like my
here,
shit's
here a
trying to
question
hide
for
my
you.
identity for the
No,
purpose.
I think the camera is disagreeing with you at some like you said, like it's like when you said Harrison Ford did want to death. It's like the camera disagrees with you.
What do you
Here a
mean,
question for you.
Darth? No, they're
Right.
lying, baby. I
So,
don't know who
obviously,
they are. Who
the,
cares if they're Force users?
right, so,
Darth, you are
right,
my only apprentice.
right, shut up now, right? Serious. Right.
Seffi's
right,
feeding me
question for you.
lines. It's not my fault.
Right, but question for Raven and you, right? Because I don't know if you've seen the newer ones, but
Don't talk to me about newer ones.
no,
Don't
no,
talk to me about
no.
Somehow,
I'm in the
Palpatine
same.
returned.
I'm in the same. I'm the same thing as you, along the same lines as you. That way, when it comes to the newer ones, right? But one question I do have to ask, right? On the death scene of Han Solo, who actually pressed the fucking switch? Was it Solo or was it Han, or was it actually Kilo that done it? Because it doesn't show you the horns, and I don't think Kilo actually done it himself.
I'll have
And
to go
before they
rewatch it.
answer, can I just point out I've never seen Raven ever get offended by anything, but in one sentence, you fucking pushed a button I've never seen anyone push.
I know,
He
bro.
went from 0 to 100 in 0.2 seconds when you went, has anyone seen the new films? And he went,
No, but
you
See, my
but that's
problem with the new films, my
that's
big
the
problem with
thing.
the
The
new
newer
films
films
is that
are
the
absolute
middle
shit.
the middle
Hey.
one. Okay, so what was the guy who did the middle one? Ryan, whatever the buckballs, no nuts, Ryan Gargles sack.
something like
Yeah,
that.
something like Ryan
Right.
Gargles fucking come. But he had no idea whatsoever about a Star Wars story, and he admitted it. He knew none of the fucking lore. He knew none of the backstory. None of the nothing. My and he shit the bed on the whole fucking movie. My big
shit.
my issues with the first one is that what they killed off Han Solo. They didn't delve.
Same.
They didn't delve enough
And didn't they give
into.
him a solo film that was a total letdown?
Aye.
Uh,
Um,
No, I wouldn't say
Oh,
that
that's
the.
still,
it's
that's
good,
still
but it was good, but
I
it was
enjoyed
not
it.
sometimes very good,
I
sometimes
enjoyed
very
it. I
bad.
liked the solo film. I
The
liked it.
solo
Solo, a
movie
Star
did.
Wars story. I might be one of the only people who really enjoyed
No,
it.
like with the solo story, right, that way for me it was a hit and a miss. Right, there was some points that I did like the fact that way getting to see the start of Chewie and Han's relationship, and that way how it all came about and how they got the Falcon and that. But then again, some of the story you're like, what? Okay, but again, it's way the newer movies that way, right? It does piss off a lot of original Star Wars fans for the fact that the newer stuff is completely wiped out the effects of fucking lightsabers and everything
That
that
was my
way.
point. That
Well,
was
I
what I was trying
mean,
to
they
get at.
pretty much wiped out
Everything
the
that
effect of
we loved
lightsabers
before
during the Clone
disappeared.
Wars when everybody who got their arms chopped off or their leg chopped off or got cut in half came
No,
back
but
as a cybernetic organism. Like, I
no,
mean,
but
we
they
got the
no,
fucking
but they no,
T-800 coming around here. Like,
no. But you're not getting what I'm saying, right? So if you think about it, right, Star Wars Episode 1, right? Qui-Gon Jinn gets fucking offed, right? They get back to tanks back then, but they don't fire him in to save him,
I'll
right?
tell you
The
why.
only reason, no, right, wait now. The only reason Darth Maul survives is through his hate in the dark side of the Force,
Mhm.
right? But yet, you've got all these newer ones coming up that way, right? You see fucking in the Boba Fett, Fen, whatever her name is, gets stabbed in the chest by a lightsaber, comes back to life because she gets hanged by back to tank. Fucking
Actually, Ray
the
didn't get
third,
brought back to life from a back to.
no Ray. I'm on about Ray Fennec.
Boba Fett.
Oh,
And Boba
Fennec
Fett.
Shan?
Right?
Yeah, she didn't
Fennec
get
Shan.
tossed in a back to tank. She had her entire guts turned into cybernetics.
Yes, but she still get flung in a Bacta tank at a point to stop the cauterize the wounds and shit. She says it, but again, that way you see the third sister get stabbed in the chest by Darth Vader. What happens there? Oh, she gets brought back because she gets flung into a fucking Bacta tank. Like the new Disney stuff.
That one wasn't full on back to tank either. That one was well, okay. So the Emperor, one of his favorite punishments was to kill you and then to use the Force to revive you and then kill you again. That was like, okay, so the the guy who he held responsible, who was not responsible for the Death Star design, but he was one of the only ones who was left alive after the destruction, because most of the designers and engineers were still on the thing when it went. So one of the only ones left alive, he killed, I think, he tortured and killed daily. Just for, he'd get up in the morning, he would torture him
Just
to
for
death,
fun.
and then bring him back to life, and then.
But again, that was used by dark side magic. That was used by the fucking
The light side. Even in so
again, as I'm saying, everything in this new era is all
it's
fixed
not
by
just
back to tanks.
no. It's not just, well, there is a lot of back to tanks that they do, but the whole with Jack Jaws with the cool hair and a nice scar healing up Ray, fucking that goes back to the Jason and Jaina stories where they were linked, like the two of them are in the movie, and they could literally pass stuff through the Force to each other. They could heal each other. They could, and that's why when Jason had to kill Jaina at the end of it all, the way in order she was able to do it was she had to go get. She barred herself off from the Force. She had to go get training from the Mandalorians and learn how to fight like a Mandalorian in order to be able to beat her brother.
Yeah, but again, if you look into it, right, though, everything that you think, oh, right, they're definitely dead. Nah, two episodes later, they've been back to tank, back to fucking full health. Like,
But that happened a lot in the Wedge Antilles in the original X-wing novelization. Half of his squad wasn't completely wiped out. They had to form a completely other the wing of Rogue Squadron, and I can't remember what they called it now, but it had its own little book series as well, because they were doing a whole fucking thing. They got wiped out. Antilles was in a full back to tank for, I think it was 10 months because of his injuries. They've been hauling. Not only that, but Luke, Empire. Luke and Empire.
Yeah,
he got his face mucked up and frozen half to death. They threw him in a back to tank for the afternoon, and he came out like, "Oh, hey, sis. I mean, hey, Leia." Like he was ready to get back to that incest stuff.
But as I'm saying, that's after big incidents, that way, big battles and shit like that, way they get flung in a back to tank. Which
well,
is,
I'm sorry, man, but if my number one, if I'm Vader and my number one Inquisitor, fucking, or even number 2 or number 5 that I've got plans for later, if I don't want her to die,
Vader would off the Inquisitors just for the funny and not even give a second thought.
Yeah,
he wouldn't even heal them. He would just off them and cut. Because most of this,
unless his master said otherwise.
Aye, but most of the actual Inquisitors all had were missing an arm because Vader thought that's the way.
Or a hand, or a piece of their face, or part of the back of their skull.
Yes, but again, as I'm saying, Disney have ruined a lot of the shit at the way
Really?
within 2 episodes that somebody should have died with the
Because
injuries. With
I'm sorry, but they've killed a lot off. And not only have they killed a lot off, but they've killed a lot off in their children's cartoons. Star Wars Rebels. How many Inquisitors died in Star Wars Rebels? How many people died in Star Wars Rebels?
right.
Kanan
Again,
Jarrus.
aye. But as I'm saying, a lot of the shit that fucking should.
Anyway, I think we have been talking about this few hours already. I think it's time
All
already
right,
to.
okay, all right. See, this is where you got to get careful of getting a guy like me onto Star Wars. Now, there's just before we leave, before we finish up, there's just one thing I want to ask you all.
Okay, now I'm afraid.
Does our
Have you
cameras have better
all?
focus than yours?
No. Have you all seen the original Star Wars Holiday Special?
Yes.
Nope.
No. Oh, Raven, I'm gonna get that
Nope.
for us. I'm gonna get that for us, and me and you are gonna watch it. All right. I'm gonna put that in this. This not up on YouTube, but
maybe some other day.
Oh yeah, not tonight, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it queued up. I'm gonna get it ready, and we're gonna watch the Star Wars Holiday Special.
So we got watch it on holiday.
But it's yeah. Well, I have to work on. Oh my God, it got man. I can't believe Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill actually agreed to do that. It was bad. George Lucas is quoted as saying he would like to have all the copies destroyed.
Oh.
But it exists. It's there, and they did a new one on a Lego version. That's much better.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about time for me to go smoke a joint, I think. What?
Yeah. But
Stop
yeah,
talking over me, me.
No. But yeah, I must say I did not expect this heated conversation about Star Wars.
That's what I mean.
I'm not blaming.
Man.
I'm not blaming. I'm just curious how heated we could get with the Star Wars conversation.
Oh, I could get even deeper. Don't even get me started on the Father, the Son, and the Sister.
But I'm actually quite happy that Clown asked the hard questions about Star Wars.
So am I. Gives me an excuse to run my knowledge in my mouth. And I love running my knowledge in my mouth.
I had to ask questions because the films didn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, dude, if I can totally fill in any gaps. Like, I mean, do you want to know about Dooku? I could tell you about Dooku.
Oh,
but yeah, actually, I will.
I think I have a doctor's appointment in 12 hours. So.
But yeah, there's actually. But yeah, as I'm going to say a little bit, there's Jedi stories that actually tells about Ashoka more and Dooku as well.
Yeah.
Explains a little bit, goes into a little bit depth, but not that much.
And there's a couple of Jedi. There's a couple of them that are anime.
Yeah, is there also that stories from the Empire as well?
Tales from the Empire was a book.
No, there's a new one in the Disney Plus that I saw.
I gotta go. Right. I gotta take off. I gotta go.
I think you might be right. Because they did do the stories of the Jedi, and I think is Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Sith sounds familiar, but yes.
I gotta go hit Star Wars on Disney Plus. Catch up. Oh wait, I know one thing. Skeleton Crew is pretty good. I gotta say, it gives me the Goonies vibes.
I actually
I seen a trailer for that, and that way I'm not too keen on it because it doesn't actually feel like Star Wars.
It's got a Star Wars, man. It does. It's man. Once you watch it, it's got a.
You get all of this. It's not May 4th, so it's Christmas. So
well, that's why I got the holiday special in there, man. The first appearance of Boba Fett.
Oh no.
No, I can't.
I swear it was ending like 20 minutes ago.
All right. Well, it is aimed at children. This is true. And that's probably why it keeps my attention so much, because I never grew up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Oh god, yeah, those are ours. I always love to go just to see.
And on that note, folks, we will be saying our goodbyes here.
And I embrace my inner child
And
constantly.
I will see you guys next week because I am not listening to anymore.
And I'm Chronicus, and I could go on forever about Star Wars. Hit me up in the comments if you like the chat.
I'm your one and only Doctor. I will catch you also next week. Stay blazed.
And
I'm Raven, I'm in the sky, and before we go, actually, I request that if you have any questions, leave questions in comments section, and we will try answer them next week.
yes,
If you have any,
yes.
and of course, if you have personal questions, just remember tag Chronicles TV, Clown Prince, Dr. Smoke, or Raven if you have a specific question for a specific person.
Perfect. And if
Well,
you have
I'll
questions for the
answer
group,
I'll answer one of the questions that I know is coming up. And yes, Smoke has hit puberty. He's just bald and a baby face.
I keep
But
offering
anyway,
a lock of hair,
Raven,
but he doesn't act. Oh,
But before we start
Yes.
going anywhere else, this is Raven High in the Sky, and have a good night. And you three, go to sleep.
I'll
Because
never.
I'm going to sleep.
Well, you guys,
You're
everybody.
up in the right hand corner, and fuck you, Seffi.
Peace.
Later, guys. We love you all. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.